This is the Squadcast, your weekly source for LA Galaxy news, information, and opinions. Here are your hosts, Ed Rodriguez and Chris Zero Cool Tucker.
Welcome to the Squadcast on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday night here in Gardena, California. We are live on youtube.com/the Squadcast pod. Go like, go subscribe, hit the notification bell. Get notified when we go live so you can join in our live chat where all the fun happens.
I appreciate you educating me on the name because I didn't know how to find it. I didn't know. So say it to me one more time.
youtube.com.
All right. I got that part. Thank you.
The Squadcast pod.
The Squadcast pod. Okay.
Yes.
youtube.com/Riot Squadcast.
Yes. Or you can search Squadcast 96 and then it'll pop up.
There you go.
There you go. But yes, subscribe. Hit the notification bell whenever we go live. Join in on the live chats when we record. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of interaction with the chat. And we enjoy you guys joining on us on Tuesday night here on the show. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And that lovely voice you heard on the other side of the table from me.
I literally can't find it. I'm searching for it now. I can't find it.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm sure I'm typing it in wrong. Sorry. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you.
I feel like Tucker's been struggling tonight, Ben. Like, we talked to him and he's like,
I'll start off right off the bat. I love my wife. She orchestrated me getting like a solid 3.5 hour nap, and I've not woken up from it since. I'm dragging in a big bed. I'm gonna get it together. I'm dragging.
This is gonna be an interesting show because I've been dragging all day.
No, we'll pick it up. It's all good. I gotta start listening to some more Encanto, and I'll be with you.
I'll just get into it, man. I had a neighbor last night at midnight.
Yeah.
Apparently wanting to do karaoke.
When you say apparently,
just turned on his music and was like singing, like at the top of his lungs. And I'm like, I got up and my wife's like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, "I'm gonna tell him to shut the fuck up." And I went out there and I'm like, "Dude, it is midnight. You need to turn the music off."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, just go to sleep. It's my house." I'm like, "No. Well, first of all, you're a renter, so it's not your house. Second of all, you need to shut the fuck up."
I gotta tell you, yeah, I appreciated that you went to the wife with brazen toxic masculinity. Then you got outside, you nailed it down a little bit. So that you didn't get punched in the neck, which is always a positive. But yeah, look, karaoke is the way of life for some people. It's not much of my thing. Ben has something to tell Ed that he won't just tell.
No, I got it.
You got it? You're good?
Yeah,
okay.
I got it.
Because I'm talking to myself here, which, is in general is fine, but not when I'm commenting on your life. Then it's difficult to not have that, reciprocal understanding.
Yeah, so it was just because we went to a Ducks game last night.
Mm-hmm.
And
awful game.
So I got home 10:30ish, 11. Took the dog out, got in bed, got ready. It's like 11:30, 11:45 in bed, like ready to knock out. And all he hears is this dude turn his music like, oh.
Don't stop believing.
No, it's like whatever.
That voice did not make it.
Yeah, so I'm like, this
Hold
can't be
on
happening.
to that feeling.
It's a Monday night. It's midnight.
That's not the night for karaoke.
And so I get out of bed. I'm like, I'm telling this dude, he's got to shut up.
What was he singing? Do you remember?
That's some Spanish song. I don't know what it was.
Oh, better you say that than me.
Un poco loco?
No, if it was, I'd have joined in. I would have joined in on.
Shame we can't play that.
I know, yeah. Disney has flagged us before.
In fact, they may flag us for me saying that.
Yeah, exactly. Copyright Disney Corporation and
with good
whatever.
Reason. Extremely litigious.
Look, I'm cool with you guys. Like, if you watch the live stream, I got my House of Mouse shirt, sweater on. So
you do have a loyalty to Disney. That, like, don't get me wrong, we were just discussing it here. I love me some Disney tracks. There's nothing wrong with that.
We were listening to Disney songs for the last half an hour before we started the show.
Yeah, gonna be light on facts today because we were mostly just going through Encanto and the Coco soundtrack. Damn, those songs are sad, man. They're really, really good at dragging emotions out of men. At least for me, that I can.
We're two guys in our mid-30s, like, and
But I like to keep a nice like stone exterior, and they're just like, yeah, man. But what if you had to leave your son? Wouldn't you want him to remember you? I was like, yeah. Well, yes, I would.
Here's your really old grandma who doesn't remember anything anymore. Have fun with that.
Yeah. Start dealing with all those issues. Yeah, exactly. Start unpacking that package, buddy.
Exactly.
How are you doing, Benny?
What's going on, sir? And of course, I didn't introduce producer Ben. Of course, producer Ben's here.
Back to work this week, so it's tired, man.
Yeah. So is that a good thing or a bad thing now? Like, is it just a good thing to kind of like
I think
get back into a routine of
it'll end
things?
up being a good thing. I mean, this is kind of the rhythm that we need to get into.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole new. It's the new normal. You know, the getting up early, getting them to kids to school, and then going back to work. Yeah, it's tiring, man. Work is hard.
I'm such a bad friend. I'm listening to him talk, and in my head, I'm just like, because they're waiting on a miracle, always walking alone.
Speaking of work, I mean, we're pretty open on this podcast. We talk
As open as you want to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna like not have a job in like 3 months. That's gonna.
Oh, is this like confession hour?
Yeah.
I got something.
I
I can
told
talk
you
about.
I didn't have my therapy session this week.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be my therapy hour,
All right.
or hour and a half, whatever we go.
You missed your session?
No. We're gonna do like every other week now.
You really think you're that healthy?
No. It's
I
just
think he's that broke.
it's because Kaiser's giving me so many weeks I can have a therapist. So I'm like, I'm gonna space it out a little bit.
I like talking hour. Talking hour works is good with me.
Yeah. So I was working for a high school and
You're still there.
well yeah
And
yes
you,
and no.
and you could still be there?
I'm kind of like already like a foot out the door, like not really giving a shit.
Wait, when you know you're gone, like what is it? What does it matter?
Yeah, I mean like it's you have an expiration date, so it's kind of like the day you're like, oh well, this is like I'm leaving out of here. But it sucks, man. You know, I was like the new kid on the block, so when they started doing like budget cuts or whatever,
You're first in, first out.
Yeah, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, man.
I mean, it's something wrong with it for your life.
Now I'm on the job hunt again and applying to 10 different places every day.
Should we talk about my thing?
Yeah, man.
We haven't brought it up.
You're going to be as open as you want to be, man.
Oh, well then never mind. Because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're probably going to be moving pretty soon. And I say probably as if it's not definitely happening. It's definitely happening. It's a matter of when. The window is a little off. But my family's probably more than likely moving to North Carolina in the next couple months. Yeah. Hi. I just told Ben's daughter. Yeah, I just, I love all of you. I love the galaxy. I love all that stuff, but I like my kid way more than all of you look, if you've listened to this show for a long time, you understand how much more I like my son than I like all of you. It's not remotely close. And he deserves to have a tree and a tree house and a dog and all that stuff. And it's not feasible here on the education level that I have. So we're making some moves to kind of free things up, free some time up. The upside, if like your chief interactions with me is 3 or 4 minutes at a Galaxy game to be like, hey Tucker, big fan of the show, and listening to the podcast, your life is actually going to get way better. Because once I'm out there, I'm going to have more time and space. I'm going to get back to the doing the history dive on the Patreon. So that's going to be a worthwhile purchase for the 25 people who have not, and it's right over Ed.
Yeah,
a brand new
right
one.
here you can.
For the 25 people who have somehow not abandoned our Patreon over this extremely tumultuous year and a half
And
now.
look, in about 3 months, I might need you guys to like step up a little bit.
Once I get over here, you just take all of it.
No, I mean like the Patreon people, like.
Well, yeah. Look, that'll be up to you to help contribute. I've already got plans that I haven't researched any of them yet, but I'm working on lists of things that I want to get into. So I can assure you, after I'm gone, like our Patreon, the content of our Patreon is going to be worth it versus what it is now, where it's essentially people tipping us for the work we do, which is still great, but there will be a quality increase for sure. But yeah, man, it's all the long-term game. It's looking at, I'm not thinking about what I want for the Galaxy over the next like 3 years and me getting to go to games and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out where we, from a Galaxy standpoint, where we want to kind of take the show and our coverage and stuff more long-term.
Yeah.
So it's, believe me, if you enjoy this show, it's going to end up getting better for you. There's going to end up being more content for you. Spread out over time, so you don't have to go 7 days without, for whatever reason, wondering what we think about something going on in the Galaxy. Yeah, it'll end up being better, but it's just not really feasible for me here, and it's not feasible in a way that it's feasible. I'm just not going to do it because it's not feasible in a way that benefits my son and my family and my wife. So, yeah, we'll be.
And look, man, we've talked personally about like, the family and that comes first over everything else.
If you've listened since we were in the closet, pause. If you've listened since we recorded this show,
You were in the closet.
Yeah, you've never been, Ed. You've always been quite out and proud of who you are.
Yeah.
But if you've listened since day one, like you'll understand it's been a journey. It's been a real big journey.
If you've listened since the beginning, there's been an arc.
Yeah, there's a story arc, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to arc up, and the best way for me to arc up is to get to a place where I can put some equity into a house and lower my cost of living, so that I can increase the avenues for my son to, experience life in a way that's beneficial for him. And North Carolina is not a long-term thing for me. It's certainly a stepping stone. I have no intentions on living in the South long-term. I have no intentions on living on the East Coast long-term. Neither of those are things that are beneficial for me. But it's like when I moved to Portland. Like, I moved to Portland for a reason, a very good reason. And, that's how that went. And now we're back. And, I don't know that we'll be air quotes back someday, but I'll always be around. I'll always support the Galaxy. And, remember, the obsession level elevated when I moved to Portland. It didn't go down.
Well, yeah, because you had to.
I had to
actually make an effort to
me versus the world out there.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's always, we'll always be around, but things are changing, man. It's a time of change, and it'll end up being for the better.
It's good change, and
who cares where I live?
Yeah.
Why would anyone give a shit where I live? It's
Chris's problem. He'd have to record at midnight or 1 a.m. to do the show.
No, we'll probably record earlier, or you guys can carry it, and we'll see how that goes. But I imagine.
We're talking about this is the Tucker Show featuring Ed and the full Ben experience.
Yeah, it's got a hard start time, except we were supposed to start 40 minutes ago, and like nothing changed.
But what happens when we listen to Encanto and
all I
Coco
need
music
is
and
change,
and then sprinkle in a little Moana.
You can admit of all the not even all the Coco or all the Encanto songs, all the Disney songs we listen to, that Pressure one is the worst.
I think it's a good song, man. Is it the
You
worst?
You didn't even answer the question. That's how I know it's the worst.
Is it
of just the songs we listen to?
It's still a good song. It's probably like if you want in that.
That's all I'm asking.
It's probably the worst song.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. It's not a bad song. There's no bad songs on Encanto, but it would of the ones we listen to, it's worse than any song on Coco for sure. Or it's not even worse. It's not the songs on Coco.
Your wife's on the chat, by the way.
What's up, Ma? How you living? What's up, girl? Got them sweet cheeks.
We got Erica and Gilbert on the chat. This is like
there is a spectrum of greatness.
Is a good day.
That is it traverses the whole realm.
And if you're in the live chat, do us that favor. Twiddly dinks that like and share button. Come on.
Yeah, well, why not? I don't know how many have done it. It doesn't really matter.
Come on,
but
get on that.
Go for it. It helps with the algorithm, I think. And subscribe. And there's a bell.
It's to turn on notifications
that lets you know when we're live.
Because we say 8:30-ish for a reason. Because
Yeah.
We never start on time.
It'll be somewhere in and around there. So yeah, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna start. We're gonna get to a point at some point where I'm gonna cut some clips of like noteworthy points. That's the thing. I can't do it. I need someone. I need help. I need help from the audience.
Who wants to do free work for us?
No, you don't. It doesn't. If you're already listening to the show, it's something you can easily do. If you're listening and you hear a point that you're like, dang, that was great. Do me a favor, mark the time, and then shoot me that time. I'm going to start cutting those clips and upload the video to YouTube. So you can, if you want to share the show or tell someone like, hey, you should check this show out there. Ed made a great point. We can cut a clip and upload those clips and kind of share it out so people aren't trying to jump into a 2-hour show. I can't do it because I don't think anything we say, literally anything we say out of the first 15 minutes is of any merit worth listening to. I personally struggle to believe that. I know they enjoy it, and that's great. Keep on rolling. But I
feel like for us, it's like it's our favorite time. It's just like that first 10, 15 minutes of us talking.
It's all downhill from there. It's all downhill from an opening 15, like Encanto talk. So if anyone else wants to help with that, you're more than welcome. But yeah, I could use that assistance.
Yeah, man.
I don't have a producer to do that for me. So if you want to knock that out.
If only.
Again, like Tucker, I don't feel like anything that we say in here is worth clipping.
It's difficult. He wasn't listening. He heard the last 6 words and just repeated it and went through it. It's fine. It's all good. Nothing to include here. But it's fine. That's fine. He does a great job.
But if you are listening on the live chat, we do have a new phone number if you want to call and or text during the show. Just give us a call or text at 310-698-9337. And I believe Ben should probably put it up on the screen somewhere. But again, that's 310-698-9337. That's where we're going to be taking the lightning round questions from. If you're going to call during any of our segments and you want to give your opinion, feel free. We'd love to hear from you guys. So there you go. What
Man.
happened?
Sorry, Erica's in the live chat getting herself in trouble. It's fine. She doesn't understand she's talking to like dudes like me and you who are not me and you. But she'll
Doesn't she get enough of that with just you? Like she's gonna get into a world where like more like us.
Yeah, I mean I like to think I'm pretty tame. But I think I'm tame because I know the jokes I want to make that I don't make because I'm a family man. And they are still like, "Oh, he's a decent human being." But I'm like watching Survivor and someone's climbing up on a rock and I'm like,
What if they fall?
"What if they fall?
That'd be so
What if
cool.
they tripped on those rocks? It'd be awesome." I don't even know what's going to happen. They're not even going to show it. I just want to see the aftermath. They don't know. They don't understand the darkness that goes on in his mind.
All right, let's get into a little bit of Galaxy / MLS talk. Let's talk Squadcast Fantasy League, sir.
What's that?
Bad league.
What's that?
Just awful week for both myself and Tucker.
Formula One fantasy, I'm killing.
No,
killing the
Squadcast
game. I don't care about
Fantasy
that.
League.
I don't care about that anymore.
All of a sudden, Chris doesn't care about it.
Yes,
because
I'm taking a page from you.
So I'll go through the top 5, and then we'll see where myself and Chris Tucker are sitting on the stands. Number 1, still Brea Banditos. Number 2, Sombrero FC. Number 3, FC Sri Lanka. Number 4, Alta FC. And coming in number 5, just kicking me out of the top 5, is Too Legit to Quit. And your boy Ed sitting in 6th place, just outside the 5. I had a 54-point week. Just
Wow.
bad. Just bad. And I'm scrolling down to find Tucker. I'm still scrolling. And he's 26th with 47 points in the week.
It's a good week. Solid week.
Solid
yeah,
week. Mid-table.
What did number 1 get this week?
Number 1 got 91 points.
Hey, that's not bad.
And second place team got 69.
Nice.
Yeah. That's your MLS Squadcast.
Is Ben still on there? Where's Ben at?
He didn't even sign up.
I thought you signed up. You took Ed's name, didn't you?
He never signed up.
I'm in the general league. I don't think I'm in the Squadcast league.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Yeah.
Well, you got a team though. We just got to figure out where
He's
where
got
you're at.
a team, but he's not in our league.
For F1 fantasy, I'm coming in 5th place right now. It's far more important to me because I have a chance of winning it. 190 points. I went ahead.
No, we don't care about any of that
Captain
stuff.
Charles
No.
Leclerc, who finished 1-2 with
No.
Carlos Sainz at the Bahrain
No
Grand
cares
Prix.
about that.
Beautiful
Yeah.
race. Watched it with the boy. Watched it with the missus.
So no one
Get
cares.
into the fantasy F1
Nope.
F1 fantasy league. Way more important. I'm gonna carry that pole to pole this year.
Yeah.
Don't care about MLS fantasy.
You're carrying the pole, all right.
Wow, it's a child in here, Edward. How dare you?
She doesn't know why you.
I like how you don't make eye contact with her because you know what you did. You know what you did, sir.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's get into some Galaxy news. A lot of call-ups. It is the international break time. Jalen Neal and Marcus Furcranis named to the U.S. Under-20s. Congrats to them. You had Jonathan Perez called up to the Mexico U-20s. Raheem Edwards is on the Canadians' extended roster. So I guess that's when, a player gets injured or...
Well, it's like the full roster. Yeah, probably not going to make it out. Was she leaving? What is that?
Bye.
Ben had his daughter sneak out like she's a criminal in like a 1960s movie.
Don't show your face. I mean, come on. We're on the internet, man.
Antonio Banderas in the live chat saying Haas is going to finish in the top 10 this year. Let's do it. The only American. Hey, they did well. They got Kevin Magnussen in. This is an F1 chat show now, Ed.
No.
As long as I'm bad at fantasy, all we talk about is Formula One.
You'll be bad at that fantasy too, so that's fine.
Bro, you
Eric
wanna get in?
Zabaleta is called up to El Salvador. Julian called up with Mexico, and then Kevin Leardom is called up with Suriname.
Suriname, yeah.
So congrats to them for their call-ups.
First Surinamese player and international team's history. So good on him.
There we go.
Check
Good
it.
on him.
I'm going to make a list at some point of like all the people where we've been represented on the international stage, but I'll probably make that list in North Carolina.
Yeah. So congrats to all those who made the call-ups, and good luck to all you guys in your games in the next 2 weeks. Let's talk a little G2. If you did stay after or if you were allowed to stay after the Galaxy game to watch the Galaxy 2 at their home opener against San Antonio, you would have saw another loss for a Galaxy team. They lose 2-1 to San Antonio. I was told by a bunch of people that security was not letting them stay in the stands. There must have been some miscommunication with the team and the security, because that kind of sucks if you're like, I want to stay watch G2, and then security's like, nah, that's not happening. But apparently Ben, who like left the stadium and then came back, got in. So yay all around.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem.
Good old security at the Galaxy Stadium. That's
You never know what the issue is going to be.
top notch. Harvey with the just a fantastic goal off a set piece. Adrian Gonzalez sent off with a second yellow.
Double yellows.
Double yellow. You had Aguirre named for the USL Team of the Week, and Ben
was furious.
Ben is having real issues.
Having none of it.
I was having none of it.
This is
I don't
your
think
moment.
Daniel.
Don't shirk it now.
I don't think Daniel played that well. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
And
Is that a come down? Is that a come down from his statements earlier?
Oh yeah, like
His statements early. I look. We're gonna do a Squadcast behind the snes at some point. His statements. we got to do that where we just hit record the moment
that's
we
on
walk in.
It's on the Patreon.
Moment we walk in, we keep the racism to a minimum. But it's all our own races. So don't worry, it's cool. Or it's races none of you care about because you don't. There's some that doesn't bother people.
I thought he didn't play well.
Wow, that is. Is he listening tonight?
You know
Does
what?
Daniel Aguirre listen to the show?
Frenchie coach.
Because I don't understand.
Frenchie coach didn't think he played well either. He was yelling at him the whole damn game. We were sitting right behind the Galaxy bench. But in all fairness, you mentioned the red card for the Galaxy. Within 5 minutes, the ref had evened it out and given a red card.
I saw it. One went the other way too.
Yeah.
The other way. So, in all fairness, the game was mostly played 10v10. It was an alright game. In my opinion, probably the best player on the field was Belizean superstar Michael Salazar.
That's how you bring me back
captain.
in. That's how you bring me in.
Captain of the G2.
Yes.
You know, had you started, even when Ed brought you in for Daniel Aguirre, if you started with, hey, you know who had a great game? Belizean captain Michael Salazar. I would have let all the Aguirre stuff slide. I just wouldn't have said a word. I would have let you run with
You'd
it.
be like, yeah, man, he was probably terrible.
Hey, what are you gonna do? I know who he wasn't as good as.
You could tell that he was a man amongst boys
Telling you.
on that G team.
Well, he's literally like
He's a man.
10 years older than a lot of those players that are on the team.
He's replaced Jesus
Liam Doyle.
Vasquez straight up. He's the man. He's the
Well, that's
air
the thing.
quotes
So
adult.
that's the weird thing about this G2 team this year is they actually brought a couple of guys who are in their late 20s.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. What's the plan with it? Like Liam Doyle, dude looks like my age and shit.
Well, that's the question I think we're asking is, especially if this is the last year of USL, why are we bringing in guys who are these USL players? Why are we not just playing? It's not. It seems like it's not going to matter at all this year about winning a championship in your last opportunity to win the USL Championship Cup or whatever they call it. I have no idea what to call it.
I think it's just champion. Well, I don't know.
But you bring in Salazar, 29. You bring in Doyle, who's 29. So you're bringing in these guys who are, in their late 20s. Just play the kids then. You're going to play the kids next year anyways. So why are we going this route of bringing in these older players?
And Liam Doyle's like Freddie Adu 29. Wow. I mean, like...
Well, he's a Brit, so they look much older than... I'm sorry, James. But they look much older.
They age terribly.
Terribly. But yeah, so
Isle of Man, I guess he is.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see that this approach this year, and especially for they brought in a new coach this year. Is he going to stay on and coach MLS Pro next year? Or?
Falling down a hole.
What are you looking at?
Liam Doyle is from the Isle of Man, obviously the first Galaxy or Galaxy 2 player from the Isle of Man, not part of the United Kingdom. Didn't know that. Yeah, the Isle of Man is not and never has been part of the United Kingdom, nor is it part of the European Union. Oh, we should invade them. It's the thing to do.
But
right
aren't
now.
they they're British though? Like
most
really,
famous person from the Isle of Man, Tucker? Mark Cavendish, cyclist.
Oh, I would have said Ben. You're all man, sir. I don't know who that person is. Yeah, I don't know.
No one knows this cyclist, man. Because there's come on, Ben.
It's the most popular guy from the Isle of Man. Who doesn't know that?
It's a crown. The Isle of Man is a crown possession since 1828, and it's self-governing in its internal affairs under the supervision of the British Home Office. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I don't know. I want to learn about the Isle of Man now.
So they're British. The Brits own them.
Well, then I imagine they're going to rise up and kick them out really soon because that seems to happen all the time. Every place,
except for Scotland.
Oh, well, yeah, that's something you're gonna have to deal with now. I'm gonna avoid that. Those people seem punchy, so I want to say anything that they don't like. Do they like being British? The Scots?
Half of them do.
Well, I know the
Or at least
Rangers
51
fans.
At least 51% of them do.
Wow, just Ed, political talk. He's got his
I
referendum
think
down.
they did like a vote like not too long ago.
Referendum?
And they were like, we're good.
We're good. You'd be an amazing newscaster. Like, we're looking at the results of the Scottish referendum. Today, the Scots reported,
Yeah,
we're good.
somewhere around 51%.
James is going to come in like, well, here's what actually happened. James, you explain it to us.
Yeah,
Although I imagine his is going to be extremely insulting to the Scots.
to the Scot. Oh yeah. He's like, shite football, shite country, oi oi oi,
That's all he has to say.
bangers and mash,
Tottenham football.
I'm from London.
Slab it. Again, there are like
There's
20
like-
people who know who this
Yeah.
person is.
Yeah.
We love you, James.
We
You're the
love you,
best.
James. We love you. Yeah. So
Please teach us about the Island Man.
so now Galaxy 2 are tied for last place with Oakland in the Western Conference. The next game is going to be at home versus Rio Grande Valley. I believe that's what the name is.
RGV Toros.
On Wednesday, March 23rd at 7:30 p.m. I believe if you go on Twitter and you look up Josh Strack is giving away tickets that game.
Josh Strack, Preston Judd.
Preston Judd, I think is the one. Sorry.
Jalen Neal's mother. I don't understand why the Galaxy won't just do it.
Just open
It
it up.
looks way worse
Yes.
to have
Your player's like, hey,
just,
I can give you tickets. Come and get the tickets I got.
but like you're, and Jalen's mom is awesome. I think she's great.
She's amazing.
But it's like your players' parents are giving away tickets. It's so very like Major League Soccer. I just don't understand why they're like, hey, we're gonna give, like, we'll do it. If you guys want to go, contact us. Email your ticket rep.
Because I feel like this is like the last opportunity to really have fans watch your reserve team. Like this is like the last year to do it because you're not gonna have like an MLS Next Pro availability for people to come and watch them.
Why not? It seems like it's mostly other reserve, air quotes,
I don't
reserve
know.
sides. RGV Toros has Jesus Vasquez, former captain of Galaxy 2, was captain last year. They have Frankie Lopez, the Cuban we had in Galaxy 2 a couple years ago. So you give you a chance to see some older G2 players
faces,
if you were fans of them. That can't be the same guy. Hold on, I gotta verify this. No way it's the same dude.
Who's on?
No way it's the same dude. Holy schnoz. Jose Francisco Torres from the U.S. men's national team plays for RGV Toros. What? Oh, I can't say it's a fall from grace, but he's 34, so he's still in the game. Good on him. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, he never played at Pachuca, played at Tigres, played at Puebla on loan, and then the Colorado Switchbacks and backs, not Colorado Switchbacks. There's a title, and the Rio Grande Valley FC. Again, essentially the beginning of the show is just racial epithets, and then we hit record.
Yeah. Oh, if we would hit record before the show started, I mean,
It would be the first and last episode.
It would be the end of us.
But if you get a chance, if you're available, you said it's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. So if you're listening to this on Wednesday, it is tonight. It's Wednesday the 23rd.
Nah, we should assume we should assume they're good listeners and in the live chat.
Yes, all 30 of you. All 30 of you are the best people because you're with us. But yes, so Wednesday, 7:30.
31 people. We got one person on Facebook.
Oh, all right. If you're on Facebook listening, thank you. That's probably L Dude who's listening on Facebook.
I don't understand how we have 28 people in the live chat, but only 13 twiddlydinks on the thumbs up.
Yeah, only 13 likes,
math
guys.
doesn't make any
What's
sense.
going on? Have you tweeted the links that like and share button?
Doesn't sound like it. Just go ahead and hit that share. Tweet it out from your personal account or put it on your Facebook to bother family members that don't need to know anything about this. Let me know when they're in, and I'll say something controversial about either political side.
Yeah.
I'll say that Trump was
Or
right.
all of them.
Trump was right, and they stole. It's America. There's two. Trump was right, and they stole the election. And then on the other end, what's a liberal one? Is there anything they're into? I'm so out. I have no idea what's going on. There's a Supreme Court justice
Yeah, that's going on.
confirmation going on, and that's a big deal. Whatever. Like, Josh Numbers really changed my whole perspective on it. He's like, why would you let like 9 wizards govern 9 wizards who will never visit your city, like your town where you're from? Why would you let these 9 wizards govern your whole life? And I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Like, why? I don't care. Unless I'm on death row and I need those people to bail me out, and I try to talk to nobody, so it's not an issue. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter to me. Irrelevant to me.
And that was your political minute with Chris Tucker.
Boom. Vote local. It's infinitely more important in your life than whatever national elections are going on.
Exactly. All right. So if you want to go to the game, hit up Josh Drack or Preston Judd, and they'll give you tickets.
Juggalos and Dracos, baby. Let's roll.
And then obviously, if you go, try to get Michael Salazar's jersey for Chris Tucker.
The bounty is still open. Michael Salazar, game worn, Belizean superstar.
And then hook it up with the Preston Judd jersey for me.
I already got one of those. Don't worry about it.
Not for you. I said for you.
I heard you.
Tucker already got one. Don't worry about it.
I heard you. Yeah.
Greedy, man.
I heard you.
Don't worry about it, Ed.
So Preston Judd.
Tucker.
We can put up here, because Chris doesn't want to bring any of his jerseys to hang up on this wall. So,
bro, moving. Why would I leave jerseys here? That doesn't make any sense. How many jerseys you got?
Not a Preston Judd jersey.
We have a jersey here that somebody brought. It's sitting in a bag 2 feet next to your legs.
Ben used to put it up here. I don't know. He's pretty sure Ben doesn't.
He's going through a lot. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, Ed.
Come on.
So insensitive. This therapy ain't working. You're more of a dickhead.
I feel great.
Maybe you should have gone this week, Ed. Be a little more sensitive.
Nah, fuck that.
Did you go to therapy this weekend? Nah, fuck that. Don't need it. It's for weak men.
Need it. I'm good.
Dudes, I'm going to work out instead.
Lads.
You work out, do a podcast. You don't need to go to therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Erica's eyes are like this right now. Where's the Geo poster? We got the signed poster.
Yeah, we got to have Ben.
Did we show that on the we showed it on the show, right?
No, I don't think we did.
No, I don't even know where.
Or did we? I don't know. It's somewhere down here.
If we find it, we'll show it tonight. We got to sign
from our good friend Daniel over at Angel City Printing.
Mm-hmm. Check him out if you need shirts.
Gave us a Gio dos Santos poster signed, so we're gonna have Ben get that framed and put it up here soon. Or you should take it to North Carolina, just have it as your background.
Yeah, it's not going in my house.
Just back behind you.
Yep. Better chance you're gonna get an Eduardo Dominguez signed poster in my house.
We will put that on his chair. We'll get like memory? A cutout. Yeah.
I don't want to stare at that all day.
That's stare in your eyes.
Just right in
the guy who stole so much money from the club. We can't afford a women's team. Apparently, I still assume that's the reasoning.
That's the reason. All right, moving on. Let's move on to the Galaxy versus Orlando game. I do want to read. We did get an email from Big Tony.
Oh, go for it. Do it right off the top.
I want to read that first because he does have an update because he unfortunately couldn't do last week's update. So I'll give it to you now.
Mute right now. Get some water.
Prognostication. Sorry, last week was crazy busy. This week is the same, but I didn't want to miss 2 weeks in a row. Anyway, 2 weeks ago, we saw the Korean Steve travel to the Pacific Northwest to get drunk, and he did. That's probably the most remarkable thing that happened. Good for him. Well, apparently there was a soccer game going on in the background. Who knew?
Can I pause you?
Yeah.
This is the beauty of the Galaxy and Squadcast and Lars and all this stuff. Where else can you, without fear whatsoever, refer to your friend as the Korean Steve, and no one bats an eye? We all know who we're talking about. He doesn't have a problem with it.
Because we have English Steve.
Yeah.
And then we have Korean Steve.
Why does Korean Steve seem racist, but English Steve doesn't?
I mean, you know why.
Why? What?
It's because he's white.
He's white?
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for the NC, baby. He's white.
Where did I leave off? Okay. Well, the G's dropped that one 2-3 to the Sounders. Both Chris and Ed predicted a win, while Ben said F. Cabral, there's no way we are winning, or something like that. I can't remember. Crazy busy. Well, Ben was right, but thought we would be shut out. So he only picks up 1 point for that game. At least someone got a point on the board. Then we turn our sights to the last weekend. All three of you predicted a win. What? And that was when after Ben flat out said, I don't trust this team yet. You would have thought he'd predicted a loss, or at least a tie. Well, he didn't. Groupthink, I guess. So no points for anybody. Thanks, Galaxy. Way to ruin baddies and brunch. I suppose the G's took the bad portion too literally. So not a lot of change in the standings. Chris leads with a whopping 3 points. Ben is second with 1. And Ed is still waiting to get out of the starting gate at 0 points. Listener predictions. Well, as I mentioned, week 3 was ugly. We had 60 participants, which half thought we could escape with the win, and 22 thought the G's would be good for at least a point. which means only 8 listeners predicted a loss and got some points. No one got the score exact, but only 3 people expected Chicha to bang in at least one. So those 3, Victor L, Tracer, and Bixby, grab a bonus point. The other five only scored 1 for the week. Then came last weekend. We had 49 participants, and every single listener predicted a win. So easy work for me, no soup for anybody. Well, except Steven Ma. He likes to make things interesting, and he predicted a Julian Araujo own goal. Truthfully, he scored an own goal in Seattle, but MLS decided to give it to Jordan Morris because MLS.
He's white.
There were 3 people who predicted an own goal in Seattle, but again, MLS. Anyway, Julian didn't make the same mistake at home, so Steven loses a point. Don't worry, you have lots of time to make it up. In the overall standings, we now have a leader. Since he picked up 2 points against Seattle, Bixby rockets into lead with 5 points.
Hey.
Chris G, Esteban, and Greg are tied for second at 4, and 28 others are tied with 3 points. I'll include the link with the full standings in the link email this week. Hopefully the website will be up soon. It should be a couple weeks. One other thing, we had a big drop-off in participation this week. I realized it was probably due to an early game and lots of pregame drinking. But come on, people. Get those predictions in early. Don't let Bixby, of all people, run away with it. Not Bixby. You can follow at BigTony_42 on Twitter for reminders. All right.
Hey, Tony, remind me. I'm gonna drop this in a public conversation so that everyone can remind me. Remind me to get you the login information for the Twitter so you can just post it directly from there. We barely use the Twitter as it is. It's something that it can be done with regularly.
Or tag us and then it'll get the notification.
That's what he does, and we don't retweet it.
I retweet it.
But we don't. It's the exact plan that you want to, but it's the plan you want to do that you're currently not doing. That's all right. Hey, well there you go. There you go, Tony. Keep rocking it from yours. Ed's got you know what? Don't worry. I'm just gonna give it to you anyway. What Ed wants is irrelevant. So you'll start seeing it hopefully both from Big Tony's account and from the Squadcast account because we got to do something with them.
All right, boys. Let's talk about this match.
Had a great time.
Great time.
Had a great time.
Yeah, you went with your boy.
You got to bring the kid.
Chris went with his girls.
Nope. Scratch that. Reverse it.
I mean, sorry. Chris went with his boy. And this guy over here, Ben.
His name is Ben.
I forgot for a second.
Are you having a stroke? What's going on with you?
Probably.
You need therapy.
Probably, yeah. Ben took his girls to the game. I did not go.
You passed.
I
That's
passed.
all right. You had fun with the wife.
I did.
Nice.
Nice.
Like we're implying it. You know we're implying.
What's up? Sup, boo? She don't listen, it's fine.
That's why we can say whatever we want.
Please don't tell her. Yeah, so, I mean, how'd you guys, I mean, it's obviously fun. You and the boy having a dude's day out.
Yeah, it was the first time I brought Damien to a game and I didn't have Erica kind of run interference for me. So usually it's like, one of us can go to the bathroom by ourselves or, you can tag out. I'll be honest with you. She usually watches the kid at the game so I can overly focus on this thing that's going to do nothing but upset me. But it was just me and the kid, me and the boy. I'll be honest. I was nervous. It was very similar to when he was a little man, when he was a baby, and we would go out and I'm like, I need an adult to make sure that I do this right because I don't want to fuck him up. Like my whole thing in life is I don't want to fuck the kid up.
You don't want to break him.
I don't want to break him.
Yeah.
I just want to bring him back to Erica in the way that I checked him out.
Yeah.
And so like I brought him to the game, but he's down. He's zero cool son. Like he rocks with it. He was into the chants. We played with a scarf in the morning and it was like, are we going to bring, do we bring a scarf? And he was like, nah, Dad, I'm cool. And I was like, all right. So I brought my old school Lars one. Then he sees everyone else with one. He's like, Dad, you bring your scarf? I was like, yeah. He's like, let me, and he got going with it. He makes,
because you got to teach him young, man.
Yeah. He makes the,
or they make mistakes like, supporting the other team.
He does that a lot. But he asks who I'm going for, and then he says the other team, and then eventually he just stops supporting the other team and supports mine. But the real trick of being a parent is not beating him during the first few, like, hey, go purple team, because all he cares about is colors. But he had a great time, and he got showered with snacks as always. His new favorite guy Ben showed up and brought him some cookies that he was able to break. So I told you he was able to remember.
Can I say first?
Go for it.
Of course, Ben has cookies.
Yeah, hey, you didn't bring him any cookies. You're sliding down the pecking order right now. You gotta. He remembers Ben right now. But Ben brought him.
But who do you ask about?
He asked if you were gonna be there.
Yeah.
He asked if you were gonna be there. He asked if I was gonna see you today. He's remembering you guys. He remembers everyone now. Ben brought him
Would you
4.
say he remembers me?
Hey, let's not start that. Ben brought him 4 cookies, and he broke down
Coco
like
song.
Trust me, I know. We just got flagged.
Okay. No.
maybe. But he broke down like I had 2 cookies, and then we stopped, went to the potty, came back, had 2 more cookies. It was great. He got popcorn. He had a great time, man. We went to Carl's Jr. down the block from the stadium. No one should ever go there again. It's the worst run place of any fast food joint. Like for regular fast, there's just not enough workers. It's cold.
We ran into Mike Randolph at the Del Taco, right?
Mike Randolph was Del Taco.
Del Taco.
What's his name? Brian Jordan was Fat Burger.
Fat Burger, yeah.
That Carl's Jr. was just atrocious. But we stopped there. We got some food. Didn't drink, which was I wanted to just experience it with the kid. He cried a lot on the way home, only because the Galaxy didn't score. Like I got the whole ride. Ed, when I say the whole ride home, I mean until the kid fell asleep in the car. Dad, what's up, Damien? Why didn't we score? Why didn't we score goals? And I was like, oh, we're not very good.
Chris goes, well, they're playing this, this formation where it's a 4-3-2-1. Teacher really he's left on the island, but
you're really acting as if my answer was anything other than Kevin Cabral.
Kevin Cabral just can't finish his chances. He's getting positions where he can score chances, but the kid just doesn't have it.
Leads the team in expected goals despite only playing 62 minutes.
And then you just have...
That's why.
Then he's like, well, Julian Araujo's just been off. I don't know where his head's at. And
I know where his head is.
Your son's looking at you like...
Cool. Can you play Moana again, Dad? It's... But he helps. He really helps. Like, he helps remind me that it's a game. And it should stay at the forefront of your mind the whole time. Like, it's a game. You're supposed to be having a good time. And we had a great time. Even with a loss at home. Again, and Orlando's not bad. We're not great. Mm-hmm. We're not good. Like you can't keep measuring yourself as if you're this middle of the road or upper echelon team. We're not.
Oh no. I agree with you there. But Orlando's is a bad team.
They're what, 4th in the East? 4th or 5th in the East?
Yeah, in the East is terrible.
Where are we in the West?
We are. I agree with you. Where we're not a good
but
team.
MLS isn't great. They're right around where we're at. They're not phenomenal. But we're a team everyone's expecting to make the playoffs, try to challenge for a supporter shield. That seems to be already kind of going away. But I'm not talking about whether we are going to challenge for the supporter shield. I'm not talking about whether we're going to make the playoffs. I'm saying we are a team that is supposed to qualify for the playoffs. We were a team that was supposed to hang out near the upper echelons of the Western Conference. We were supposed to be pressing for a supporter shield. Oh, yeah. I don't think that stuff's going to happen. No. But we were beaten by. I mean, we outplayed them in a lot of ways. It's becoming an LAFC joke, but it's being said by Galaxy fans every week. We beat them in the stat sheet.
We won
in the stat sheet again. Yeah. We're
possession, shots, corners.
Which look is
all that good stuff. We won in the stats.
It is a positive. We're not able to connect on some very specific things we need to do to be able to win games. But in general, we're pressing teams, especially at home. We're handling possession. We're getting shots off, even if they're not. We're not creating enough actual goal scoring chances. We're shooting. We're trying to score. It doesn't look cohesive. It doesn't look like there's an actual plan to get a goal.
Well, I think Orlando saw and really watched that Seattle game against the Galaxy, because you saw they lined up very defensively, similarly to how Seattle did, where they kind of just 2 blocks of 4 and just kind of put everyone behind the ball when defending. And the Galaxy don't really have creativity to
There's not enough to break it down.
You had your creative outlet in Vasquez cross the ball like 11 times. Like, this is the guy who's supposed to thread the needle and finds people and he's the one who's I'm just going to keep crossing it and hope for the best.
From his perspective, though, at 35, if it's not on, if the pass isn't on, if the through ball's not on, if the movement at the top isn't working to get a through ball, what else are you going to do? You switch the play to the other side and you try again. I mean, that's what you do. There's just not the 3-headed attack, the Cerberus as it is. It's just not clicking. It's not clicking in a way that's making any real sense, and it's not coming off.
Yeah, I think, and that's the frustrating thing, is as much as we win, we our defense is terrible.
Oh, Chin Buck's in the live chat.
I know, I saw that.
It makes me happy.
this is a game where you had 5-6 chances where like really good scoring opportunities.
Yeah.
Chicha had probably his worst game he's had this season so far. You had Cabral again, who got in good positions, got himself in, and if he was just like a slightly better player or even like decent player, one of those is being put in the back of the net.
I hope saying this inspires him to score against what do we have, Timbers next in a couple weeks. I hope saying this, because usually I have a decent track record of like condemning someone and then having them, turn it on, have a great game, bounce back, score some goals, whatever. I'm hoping this is the next stage in that evolution for me. I don't think people should be on his back, and he got booed off the field. Very, very clearly, he got booed off the field in the 60-something minute as a otherwise healthy designated player. You can understand. I don't think people should boo him. I think that's counterintuitive to what you want. If what you're trying, what are you trying to do?
No, I know.
You guys can't see. Ed's making faces. Like, if what you're trying to do is motivate your player to be great? He's still a young player. Getting on his back is not going to motivate him for greatness. It's going to make him slump his shoulders more. It's going to make him more down than he otherwise is. Whether you like him or not, whether you think he's a good signing or not, whether you think he's a good designated player or not, you got him for 5 years.
Yeah.
You're on the hook for 5, and no one is buying him.
You're locked in for another 3.5.
3.5. No one is buying him on what he's done right now. So I really don't get booing the player off the field. That doesn't make any sense to me. With that said, any person that's like Cabral's washed and you don't want to be like cheering for him or clapping for him and all that, that's your business. But I get it. There is, from what we see on the field, there is nothing there. It is, his confidence looks completely shot. If ever there was a time, booing him before a 2-week international break is crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you see flashes of it. Like there was the ball that was played in, and he just let it run Chicha, like fake the, and then let it run Chicha. Chicha got his shot off, and then he Scorpion tried to get it to the ball. Like he's trying. He does things where it's like, okay, I can see that is maybe what they saw in him. And he gets into positions where he can succeed, but he's just, if it's a confidence issue, if it's just, he's not a very good player. I mean, it's, we've had the year of like saying, hey, it's a new country, new language. That's a year of that already. Like, you can't make that excuse for a whole nother year.
I'm sorry.
Something has to change.
I'm arguing with the live chat bullying works people, and they're like, bullying worked for Sebastian Lletget. It's like, yeah, it's a guy who plays for the team that won the Supporter Shield last year, that we traded for what was a scene in MLS as peanuts. It didn't work.
Bullying works with the guy who didn't thank the fans when he left the team.
Yeah, who thanked everyone in the organization except the fans when he took off for what was considered to be nothing in Major League Soccer. It didn't work. He got worse. His last third of the season was terrible. It didn't work.
And this is so Carlos in the chat says, why not start Grandsir and bring in Cabral against tired legs? Because Grandsir is terrible too.
I would start, but I
Grandsir is not an option because he is not good either.
You know why? I don't disagree with that. Here's why I would start Grandsir.
I would definitely maybe bench Cabral for a game to be like, hey,
it benches Cabral.
Yeah.
Whatever the solution for the Galaxy right now, at least as far as scoring goals is concerned, I think it definitely involves benching Cabral, at least to start games. I think it's a bunch of issues. His confidence is shot for sure. He knows there's pressure on him for sure, definitely. He tries so hard. He tries too hard. I cut a clip that from the Galaxy's highlight pages, and he does all these step overs and then tries one touch to take it past a guy and just completely loses it. The guy, the defender gets the ball, gets his body between the ball and Cabral like any other defender in the world besides our players would do. And then Cabral kicks him in the leg and trips him, and it's a foul. It goes back the other way. And he throws his arms up, and he's like, his physical appearance on the field is that of a player who doesn't think he can do anything right. And then you boo him off the field. Like and then you boo him off the field before he gets to sit home for 2 weeks and think about the fact that you booed him off the field, that his home supporters booed him off the field. It's a, I don't know, the in game for all these parties don't seem to make sense. From basic man management, I would have thought they would have benched him by now and said, hey, we're going to give it a pause. You can't have a guy who's coming up on being a third of the way through his contract, a long-term contract, who has never had one good half of genuine competitive soccer. He's had good games of preseason. That shit is irrelevant. He has not had a good half of competitive soccer in over a year.
Yeah, and it's like anything. It's, big risk, big reward, but nothing is coming to this. Like, this is looking like a real bad signing.
Yeah. It might be up there.
You do this to keep Efrain as your young DP, homegrown, and you can pay him whatever money.
Yeah. Chiefly to lock Julian in on a long-term
and
deal.
Julian, you bring these guys so you can keep them on long-term. And then you bring in guys like Dejan, he's seen 20 minutes of a season.
Yeah.
In four games, he's seen 20 minutes. When you needed a goal in Seattle sooner, you needed a goal in this game after 9 minutes. And he sees 20 minutes in 4 games. Like, you're not a goal-scoring machine of a team. And you have this guy who, came from the Austrian league.
Austria.
And was like one of the top scorers for his team. Like, I'm not saying MLS is on an Austrian level. Austria's, league is on par with MLS. But a guy who's scoring that many goals should come to MLS and put them in the net. We just haven't seen him. I feel at this point it's a thing that Greg just doesn't like this dude as a player.
I don't know that he doesn't. I mean, that he doesn't rate him or doesn't like him.
Just doesn't rate him.
He's got Dejan's got 735 minutes across 17 matches. It averages about 43 minutes per game. It's not strong, but what do you do when you buy a poacher? And Chicharito is your starting center forward, and he's a poacher.
Yeah.
And he comes in second in the Golden Boot. Like, what are you going to formationally? What are you going to do? You're not going to play 2 poachers up top. You need someone to do this extra running. I like Dejan a lot. I don't know what the coach sees in training, what he sees in practices, where it's okay, we're going to keep going forward in the way we are. When things get difficult, we drop to 2 center forwards anyway. And Cabral's the other center forward, and that's nothing. I came home from the game, I told Erica, honey, this is not insulting. I don't mean this as an insult. Don't take it as an insult. You could start right now. You could start right now in Kevin Cabral's spot, and at a minimum, I would get the exact level of production I get from him if you played. And that's not an insult to you. It's not, to be honest, it's not even an insult to Kevin. It's just an observation of reality. It is a black hole of attack. It is a black hole of defense. It is, in general, a black hole of creativity. It is a black hole of passing. You know what he did successfully in the Orlando game? He has one stat that he stood out above and beyond in the Orlando game. 3 out of 3 tackles. For a guy effectively playing left wing or forward up there with Chicharito. 3 out of 3 tackles. That's the only thing he ever did. He did right in 62 minutes. Leads the team in expected goals. When Kevin Cabral is leading the team in expected goals, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle to win games. You're going to struggle to get a goal. It's hard to even be that hard on, and it's not all on him. I know it's going to sound like we're piling all on him, and it's not. A lot of guys didn't have a great game. Nick DePew had a terrible game. Julian Araujo had another really questionable game. There are a few people on the team deserving of praise outside of like a Raheem Edwards, a Ryan Revolution,
Marky Delgado. Like, that center midfield it's.
But they have to.
Yeah.
This is what happens when your backline's terrible. When your backline's terrible and your forward line isn't producing the goals and keeping your opposition team in their defensive third, your midfield has to be strong. That's why you had to get rid of Jonathan. That's why you had to get rid of Sebastian. Your midfield has to be consistent if everything else around them is terrible. If Delgado or Revolution has a bad game, we're done. We don't stay. We cannot win because the forwards aren't scoring and the defenders aren't keeping the ball out of the net. It's so imperative that those two be on the same page and start every match and are unchanged and are consistent in what they do and know what they do. I love that we've gotten to a point where Revolution, who was supposed to be our defensive block last year, he just gets to run. He let the team in shots.
The team in shots, and you know, he looked pretty dangerous on a couple of those, man. And if that's what his job is going to be going forward, I'm okay with it. You know, you have Mark Delgado, who's going to be the one who's going to sit back a little bit more. And, you know, he does those things. It's like you think he has a quiet game, but he's just doing those things.
He should.
That needs to get done.
When a defensive midfielder has a quiet game, it's usually a good thing.
Yeah.
If you don't have to see them, it's usually, if you don't note them very much, it's usually a good thing. It's just there's so much that needs to change, and you can't. Grandsier's here for a while. Cabral's here for a while.
What personnel do you have that's going to make? Who's that impact sub? Who's that guy who's going to come on and
Sasha? And I love Sasha.
Yeah.
But Sasha, like Sasha's the guy. We gotten rid of everyone else. It's Grandier. You need Grandier to just run. You need him to do more than he's doing
But he's got to do more than run. I see some not arguing with somebody. Someone's arguing with me saying that Grandier is not terrible. I'm like, okay, but it's like he's a hustler. Okay, he can hustle all day, but he needs to make things happen. We need the wingers to make things happen, and
they don't.
Currently, they're not doing that. So I'm okay with bringing in Grandier to, you know, try him out. You know, at least for a game, start him out. You know, have Cabral sit on the bench, whatever. Who knows if even in 2 weeks that because we saw that Costa went out with the tightness in the hamstring.
It seems like it's an issue.
Yeah,
it's a consistent issue, and they're monitoring it to make sure if it's going to happen. This is the game for it to happen.
And then you have 2 weeks you can.
Yeah, this is when you want him to take a little break.
Yeah.
To go. I mean, because you can go to his transfer market right now. Muscle injuries, leg muscle injuries is a consistent issue with this guy. They definitely know about it. And it's nice to see that they're aware of it, and at least according to Greg, it's not getting worse. There's not an issue, but we're going to have to watch his minutes to make sure that this isn't a problem. What is a problem is needing to sub 2 of your DPs by the 63rd minute of a game. One of them from injury, one of them from form. The other one is a 33-year-old center forward who is the one you should be making plans to sub. The whole reason you bring in Dejan is so that you can sub Chicharito. And you can get some rest, but then you're at a point where you're subbing all 3 of your DPs by the 70th minute. We're boxed in a really weird spot. I mean, you talk about that spark off the bench. It has to be Efrain, who again
came on for Acosta, and he's like, whew, did not have a good game either. It's just that's the thing is that you don't have an option coming off and thinking, all right, that guy's gonna make it happen, or at least he can try to make it. And Sasha is really the guy, but. You know,
Sasha's like a 35-year-old holding midfielder. It's not good.
No,
it's not great, and it's not to be too doomsaying. And look, this stuff can get worked out.
And it's early. It's the 4th game of the season.
If you're going to have these problems, this is the time to have all these problems. That's the one place where it's like, if you're going to rest assured in the fact. If you want to have these problems, you want to have it on the early end.
And you can figure it out.
So that you can work it out. Some of these guys Costa is a starter. You want to work this out. Cabral is supposed to have been working on all this stuff from preseason. You want to get him a chance to work it out. Mark Delgado and Ryan Revolution seem to have hit the ground running. Edwards seems to have hit the ground running. Nick DePuy is not going to be a starting center back. One of the great issues is more than likely, the 2 starting center backs are not starting yet. If there's going to be some shift that we might see coming.
Yeah, you have 2 weeks where, Williams is probably going to be back after that 2 weeks. Like, he'll be fresh. Probably get him back in the starting lineup.
Zavaletta's getting a chance to play regularly with his national team. Is he the captain of El Salvador? I keep seeing they call him. I mean, someone let me know. I don't watch a lot of.
I don't pay attention to international soccer anymore.
I watch the El Salvador national anthem when they have home games, and then I turn it off because their portrayal, their singing of the national anthem is, I would say, second to Brazil when they really got going, or Brazil before they got decimated by Germany in that World Cup. This is a really good portrayal of the national anthem, but that El Salvador national anthem hits in the feels.
Hits it.
But yeah, giving him a chance to play. Nick DePuy and Koulibaly have not played enough to secure themselves as starters when the big guys are back, Williams and presumably Zavaleta. That I think is going to be a benefit, and hopefully that helps Julian out and kind of find his flow. And I'm remiss to disrupt it too much because I want to see Edwards keep on the path he's on. But your best player can't be your left back.
Yeah,
and you find success. It's just not. It's not going to be feasible.
Yeah, I think Edwards had the most shots on goal or something this game, or
No, Revolution did.
Revolution did, yeah.
But it's like your most chances created was your left back. Most shots on goal was your defensive midfielder.
Yeah. So it's an interesting time. Guys, if you want to get in and text us or call us with your opinions or anything like that, or text us for your lightning questions, text us or call us at 310-698-9337. You can also see it on the screen if you're looking at our YouTube live video.
If you're up there.
310-698-9337. You mentioned him. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about Julian, man. What is going on with this dude? Is he invested or is he? That's the question I put down. Is he invested or is he distracted?
I think you can be both. I mean, I don't think that's a binary issue. I think I certainly think he's invested in the group. But you know, he has a lot more on his plate than he's ever had to have as a footballer to date. And what you're seeing is how a young player kind of deals with these things. I'm just staring at who scored. I mean, for not having an assist or not having a goal, he had a 6.8, came in second on defense behind Raheem Edwards, who created most of the chances. He's behind Costa, who isn't consistent or regular. He's playing behind Costa, who started on the right wing and then ended up moving into the middle a little bit, moves back out to the right wing, gets some tightness and has to go out. You're shifting around him a lot. You're shifting around Julian a lot. Is he distracted? Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the starting right back for the Mexican national team coming into World Cup qualifiers. I imagine he's going to start the game against the U.S. men's national team, who he represented at youth level. He's got a lot on his plate. Like it's gonna mess with your mind a little bit. It would mess with any young player's mind.
But that's what I mean. Like he has, the summer of, he's going to be signing with Juventus, and like now he's playing on the international stage. Like
Juventus.
Juventus.
I just don't think I've ever heard it pronounced that way.
It's like I pronounce it like because you know what? Because like Juventud Guerrero. I think that's why I pronounce it as Juventus.
That's amazing. I hadn't heard that name in a while.
That's for all you old school wrestling fans.
Yeah, man. Or that's for all you intelligent wrestling fans. But he's a 20-year-old in a World Cup qualifier. Like knows he's in a World Cup year. Knows he's in a year. He's very, very likely to be sold.
But that's what I mean, man. It's like is it a lot going on for him or?
Yes. Think about what you were doing at 20.
So that's what I'm asking. Like, Greg is supposed to be this guy who's supposed to be a player's coach. Like he's like, why are we having these issues with these guys who are having like issues on the field or seem like they're not having the confidence or what's going on with these?
Well, he might be a player's coach, but he's not a wizard. Well, he's not a therapist. He's a football manager. He changes tactics on the field. He signs players that he identifies players that he thinks will benefit his system. He alters his system for those players, but he's not a shrink. I mean, does he have that I can recall? I mean, I guess he had Alphonso Davies while he was up at Toronto and was able to kind of guide that guy through. You would imagine he could do a similar
Davies
job.
Vancouver?
No, you're right. He was Vancouver. So, yeah, I can't think of a player that he would have had that was springing onto the national team.
His nephew.
Look, everybody, take this as it's intended. Those situations were clearly different. Those situations are different as far as an expectation level, not as far as a passionate fan base or whatever.
Travis in the live chat goes, "You're a wizard, Vanney."
But yeah,
well, I'm gonna write that down.
There you go. But there are expectation differences I would imagine, through Zavaleta coming through as an older player and Julian winning a position in a World Cup year for a team that's expected to go to the World Cup, whose fan base expects them to do more in a World Cup than their talent usually would. Oh God, I'm trying to dance around this. Here, everybody be cool for a second, because I'm just going to explain this in normal terms like you're all adults so everyone can deal with this. It's got to be...
Everyone shut up.
Everyone just calm down for a second.
Quiet down for a minute.
Remember, it's just me. My opinion is irrelevant outside of the fact that you keep downloading this. It's got to be different helping a young player in a region where... Now I'm trying to walk a line with the galaxy. In a region where there is increased pressure on you. Because the moment Julian chose the Mexican national team, he's number one in Galaxy social media. He's number one in the guy that they got to put on all their things because of the way certain elements inside the club choose to operate.
What was him and Jonah?
Well, it was him, but it was him and Jonah.
Yeah.
And now Jonah's gone, and he accepted the Mexican call up, and now he is the guy. You can scroll on their Instagram right now. I guarantee you, in the first 9 pictures, I'll give you Julian's there 3 times minimum. It's the way we choose to do business. It's how we like to. It's how we like to operate. Where
do you say on Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I would assume through Instagram, or I'll say for 9 instances where a player is shown, because they might be marketed. They're always selling crap. But of players being shown, the top 9 pictures where players are being shown, Julian's going to be in 3 of them, guaranteed.
He's in the second one.
Keep going.
The fourth one.
All right, I got you one more in 9. These are all players, or just of all of them?
So there's Julian in a Mexico shirt for the second picture.
The call up. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then there's the picture where they have all 6 of them.
Of all the call ups,
Yeah.
where he's quite large. Quite large. It's okay. Good on him. That's the thing. Big up your international players. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's infinitely more pressure on him being the starting right back.
I'll give you the top 10. He's in 3 of them.
He's in top. Okay.
Yeah.
Given the pressure that's being placed on him,
and 2 of those are in a Mexico shirt.
That's fair though. It's call up season.
Yeah.
We're not going to see Zavaleta like that. We're in LE for Kranis and Jalen Neal. You know,
Did you call him Ellen?
in LE for Kranis. That's what I call it. I told him to his face. I was like, yeah, me and my buddy Ed. I call you in LE for Kranis because you remind me of NLE Choppa. NLE the top shotter.
And he was like,
he knew exactly what I was talking about.
Did he?
It
Okay.
warmed my heart. That's why I love that young man.
That's cool.
Love that young man. Good family too.
Oh, him and
family.
Jalen just like in being roommates, like listening
to good music and saying their prayers and eating their vegetables.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pressure. There's way more pressure being put on Julian than was being put on Eric Zavaleta at Toronto for being the captain or being a player for the El Salvador national team. Especially the way the Galaxy operate. You get pushed forward, and he knows people are watching them. He knows scouts are watching him. He knows Mexican national team scouts are watching him. It's a World Cup year. He's going to be sold. There's a lot of pressure being put on him at 20 years old that he hasn't had to deal with 19 and earlier. 19 and earlier, all he was trying to do was beat an otherwise terrible right back for the starting spot at right back, which he easily did. He should have beat him before he beat him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, it took him a little bit because the coach, for whatever reason.
But like, he plays in Los Angeles on the Galaxy, and he's got a lot of pressure on him. I can understand him having a rough start to the year, and he's not having a rough start to the year. He's having a rough start in comparison to the other seasons you've gotten out of him when he was a teenager. This is a different year for him. There's way more expectations. There's much bigger goals at the end of the season than he's had before. So it's going to change.
The issue is it's just like the shutting off in games. So you had the goal given up against Orlando where it's a cross in the box and he kind of just waits for it. Not attacks it, doesn't look over his shoulder, doesn't like try to see if there's any attackers coming on. Kind of just waits for it, even takes a couple steps back to like judge where the ball is going to be.
Early in the game too.
And it's just like, man. And then the week before where he just seemed like
penalty, he has the own goal.
It just seems, and again, all this is early. It's 4 games in the season. It's going to be a long season.
He's 20, and he's a 20-year-old starter.
And it just has to click somewhere. I wouldn't get your hopes up for the team of like, but crazier things have happened.
But Julian it's also a situation where Julian's not the problem. It's like when Efrain starts or Efrain gets on the field and plays, and there's people on Twitter, we talk about him here, they're like, oh, get Efrain off the field. It's like, right, but the child substitute, he's not the reason we're losing games. You can say
the teenager.
You can say Efrain didn't play this ball,
19, right?
Or he should have. I think so, but he should be, yeah. But he didn't play this ball, or he didn't take that shot when he should have done, or he should have tried. Sure, but he's not the reason we're losing games. You can isolate this one piece. Kevin Cabral plays way more than Efrain Alvarez. Kevin Cabral is way more integral to our success than Efrain Alvarez or Julian Araujo. Julian is doing fine. Julian is doing fine for this season and the pressure that's being put on him. He is not living up to where he has been for the last couple seasons. I need him to up that game, but we're not selling him based on how he does in Major League Soccer. We're likely, if we don't sell him in the summer, we're going to sell him based on how he performs in the World Cup. My understanding, I don't follow the Mexican national team. My understanding is that's probably his spot. It's not really much of a competition. I guess I don't know him, but 2 of the less popular players on that team play at right back, and they made a lot of mistakes.
I've been told that too, and he still gets played. He still gets played, or has players play over him.
But they just finished integrating him into the team.
Yeah,
he had the two guys who played over him. My understanding, they both made mistakes, which led to Julian getting his like full inclusion into the team. But he's 20. He's 20, getting an inclusion into a team that's super popular in his area. Clearly super popular at the insides of the club he plays at. And it's a World Cup season. There's a ton of pressure on him. I can imagine it's all going to dissipate over time. You just kind of got to give him time to work it through.
All right. And like we said, there is an international break, so the next game won't be until April 3rd, and that's at Portland. So an away game at Portland. We'll do like the whole preview thing next week if we come out.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I gotta look at the calendar. Is it even next week? Yeah, it should be.
It's April 3rd.
Yeah, so next week, when we come back, we can do a preview of that show.
Yeah.
Or that show. That game. If you guys want to get your lightning round questions in, we're going to get into that pretty soon. You can text us at 310-698-9337. Again, you can text us at 310-698-9337. Before we move on, gentlemen, anything else for the game you want to talk about? Big ups to Lars for the
Baddies and
Baddies
Brunch. Yeah.
Big shout out to all the ladies who... Sabrina.
On the drums,
baby. On the drums, killing it. All the ladies in the capos.
Damien and I walked down to see the drums and the capo box and all that, and Sabrina was like, "You want a drum?" And he just looked at me. I was like, "Son, go." But he, scared. He'll work up to it. You got to give him some time. You got to blow those eardrums out. You got to give it some time.
Yeah.
That was great.
But shout out to them.
Baddies and Brunch was great. Ladies were capoing. They did a great job. A bunch of them in there having a whale of a time. They were handing out roses to the women's. It was really nice. I moved up to the rafters. I'm at that stage of my life. Took the boy up to the rafters to watch a game.
You just going
retirement, baby. It's retirement time. North Carolina. We're working on it.
But usually the retirement is just the back of 137, 138. Like
I've been there. No, that's a baby section. You'll get there. Don't worry. You'll get there. But no, it was great. Got to see some of the old Larsers hanging out in 238. And a great view. Beautiful. God, it's such a beautiful stadium. Like, I'm going to miss it. It's such a beautiful building.
I remember being up in the 200s for like a game or two, and I was like, it's actually really nice being up there.
It's really, really nice. We just sat. We could hear both supporters groups, could hear Lars really, really loud. And it was nice to sit down and be able to just kind of sit and enjoy it for a little bit. The kid enjoyed it because I could show him the field, and you can really see how plays build up and develop out, and where players are shifting around. If you're genuinely watching the game, if you're paying attention to the match.
That's what I enjoy. I forgot what we were watching, like an Open Cup game or something in the not the suites. What are they, that club that's right,
like party section above the 140s.
Yeah. We went up there for a game, and I was like, oh, I love it because you can actually see like the build up, and you see like players' movements. Like the corners, it's weird for
I love them for different reasons.
Yeah,
it's Lars in general. I love it for different. I love it and hate it for different reasons.
But yeah, I love going up there. I was like, oh, that you could actually like the build, like the play build up. You see like the movement of the players. Like that was.
You see the recognition of like, oh, the ball's gone here. I need to drop back. You see how they understand it in a very different way than you did. And I'm seeing in the live chat most assuredly.
Love for Jamie Bacon.
Big ups to Jamie Bacon
as a capo.
Lifetime capo.
Yeah.
# lifetime capo Jamie Bacon.
Get in there.
There's your episode title.
Get in there.
See that reaction.
All right. Anything else before we move on to the lightning round?
No, not in particular. It was a fun outing, real fun outing, but we're not great.
No. All right, Benjamin, do you want to hit that lightning round jingle?
Mez gang. Pew 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 pew.
Nick the I slipped, and then
wow,
in for a goal.
Wow,
damn,
unnecessary.
Just a nice little jab there.
Yeah, unnecessary dig.
I like Nick the He's my boy.
From 562, you guys just kind of covered this. What was your reaction to the women in the capital box, and were they effective?
Yeah. I mean, it was different for sure, and I think maybe the surrounding sections weren't really aware it was going to happen, but they got involved. Lars did a great job, in my opinion. Lars did a great job supporting them and making sure that they were They were very effective. There was also a lot of voices in there, so you got a good volume. I thought it was a good outing altogether.
And if you've never gone to the Couple Box, it's crazy. It can be intimidating. So for the first time, a lot of these ladies went out there, and like, from what I've heard, and you guys were at the game, like, I heard they just killed it. So
yeah, did a great job.
Big ups to them.
When is the last time either you were in the box?
I think you got a better chance than me, at least going forward.
No, yes. When's the last time?
When the last time?
Oh gosh,
Before they built the new Couple stand.
before I lost weight for sure, because I remember
I've been in there but I'm like not capoing.
The last time I got in, I remember capoing for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and it might not even have been that. I started going, and I was like, oh my god, I can't do this anymore, and I had to get out.
I think I drummed a half last year. And I was like, this is why I hate doing this now. I'm so tired. I did 45 minutes. I'm like, this is so tiring.
I love it. I'd like to do it again, but I get the feeling that's never going to happen again. And that's okay. That's okay. There's other adventures in life.
You know, I retired, man. We did it for 8 years or whatever. Like, we did it for a long time.
Oh, I never retired, but it's not going to happen. I've been retired, I think.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
But I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I had a good time. I'm still loud. Like I yelled at the back. I tried to support the ladies up there as much as I could. But not everyone needs to be in the box. You need loud people spread out all over the section. So it's all good. My talents can be used elsewhere.
The 909 writes, I want to thank you all. I've been following this team since I was a kid going to the Rose Bowl, but I was never really involved with the bigger community. Ever since discovering you all's podcast, I feel like I'm truly part of this G's family. Loved being at the game on Saturday. Hoping to see you all next time. It's from Nelson.
Wow, hey, thanks, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think that's what's been amazing about these last 5-6 years of doing the show.
Yeah.
Is just the amount of more people that I've met and talked to and just spread my insane love and of like just talking about this team and the game.
Yeah.
Like before, it was kind of sectioned off to just large people. And now you just like have this whole giant community.
You mean from this show?
Yeah, like just having this giant, just giant community open up.
I don't think most listeners know. Most of our friends in Lars don't listen to this.
No,
because
the majority of people
they just talk to us. Yeah, they just talk to us.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ACB listeners, a lot of Galaxy Outlaw. I had a bunch of people come up at this last game this weekend, and Damien really was like, who the fuck, Dad?
My dad's
who the
popular.
fuck are all these? No, he's just like, who are all your friends? And I was like, oh, they're Galaxy people. We all take care of each other. Just trying to build trying to brainwash that thought process into them. Yeah, it's great to hear, man. I echo Ed's statements. Like for us, it had always just been me and him and our group of idiot friends. And probably my favorite part of the show is every person who's like, I don't have any Galaxy friends, but like I love the show, and we're like, oh, you have Galaxy friends.
You're
like
plenty.
We're your Galaxy friends, and everyone who's friends with us is your Galaxy friends. But if you never felt part of the larger community, I'm going to go ahead and knock this commercial in real quick. Great way to get Galaxy friends. You just have to show up to a tailgate, introduce yourself. You show up to the Lars tailgate in particular, show up and bring beer. It's a great way to meet people. Become a member of all the different supporters groups if you can afford it. I'm not trying to spend your money, but you can join the Lars membership. You can join the ACB membership, the Galaxy Outlaws membership, the Galaxians membership. I'm not sure Ghost Ultras has one, but join those membership groups. It's a great way to meet people. You're not paying to meet people. You're paying to help build out the community that you are now taking advantage of and that you are now a part of.
And I know it's like, it could be scary, intimidating, but there's DJ booths. Like
everyone had a first day.
Meet the leadership, and those people more than likely like hand you a beer and like introduce you to a bunch of people. Show up.
So the Lars tailgate, for example, show up, go to the merchandise booth where they sell shirts. You don't even have to buy anything. You should, but show up, go to the merchandise booth and just tell people, this is my first day at the supporters group tailgate. Who should I meet? And then have a great old time.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have a good time.
Yes.
It is intimidating because as an adult, meeting new people in mass doesn't really happen. I was talking to Erica about this a couple weeks ago. I've just gotten used to the idea that I regularly meet new people.
You tend to like lose people when you get older.
Yeah.
So having this like world open up.
Consistently growing, consistently adding new people. Galaxy Twitter is a great way. If you're on Twitter, tweet me and say, I was a guy who messaged that I don't have any like, I haven't really gotten into that community. We will, I assure you, we will find you friends tomorrow.
If you have a PlayStation or Xbox, join the leagues like
what is it? Formula G
now, yeah.
Which isn't Formula One. It's Gran Turismo, which I don't care for because I wish they did a Formula One league. But yeah, there's a Formula One there's a Gran Turismo league. There's Liga G if you play FIFA and you want to get on a team. This is how this community has evolved and built itself up and calcified itself past just the Galaxy. This is how we bring in new people past just going to a game and seeing people at a game. There is a lot of ways to ingrain yourself in this community in ways that you haven't even thought of yet. So glad you're part of the family. You're always part of the Squadcast family if you're a listener. We appreciate every single download we've ever had. I know Lars appreciates every ticket that's ever bought in their section. The ACBers that I've known for 15 years now, I know that they appreciate every ticket and season ticket bought in their section. The Galaxians, the same. Galaxy Outlaws, the same. Up. So whatever you can get into, man, go for it.
Carlos on the chat says there's a Mario Strikers League starting soon.
It's 100% happening. Have you not heard? They're doing Mario Strikers in the same way the Liga G thing happens, where you get to pick one character in Mario Strikers.
I call
and
it
you're
dibs
on a team.
Yoshi.
Bro, Waluigi all day. Waluigi all day, baby. Yoshi. Really?
That's my character on Mario Kart, on all the Yoshi. All day.
I'm a Waluigi guy, so.
You talked to your therapist about that, by the way?
Like, why?
Pick an animal.
I'm a Yoshi.
You pick an animal.
Guy.
You could pick a.
Yeah.
You could pick a human. You just.
But Yoshi's cute and like.
We also learned today that Ed views his eyes as being broken.
Okay, because the girl from Encanto.
I'm gonna mute right now.
Her mother can heal and fix anything with her cooking. But yet,
she can heal with her cooking.
But yet she can't heal her daughter's vision.
Her vision. There's nothing wrong with her vision.
There is. She has her eyes are shitty.
But she's born that way. Her eyes aren't shitty.
Her eyes are shitty.
She's born with eyes that require glasses. Yes.
So her mother.
She doesn't have a broken arm.
Her mother can heal her with food, but she chooses not to. She chooses not to. Terrible mother.
What are you talking about? She feeds her in
Disney.
that movie.
Ed, have you talked about this with your therapist?
You need help.
I don't have mom issues. You have mom issues.
Whoa. That came out of nowhere.
This is definitely something your therapist wants to know.
Oh, but anyways, I'm definitely down with that Mario Strikers League.
I could get into that.
Yeah.
If you can find a Switch that the what is it called? The Joy-Con isn't broken. That sounds like it would be fun. Joy-Con
Why don't you just do it get a controller?
Oh, I would have to. I can't. It's too far for me. It's too much. But I like the idea of like sitting in bed doing a Liga G style thing.
Why don't you just fix the Joy-Con?
I don't know. You want to fix it? It sounds so easy. I'll hand it to you. It's not even my Switch. It's Jonas's Switch. Fuck that Switch. I don't care what happens to it.
Exactly. All right. Anyways.
Ben's gonna buy me a Switch.
It's a tax write-off.
It's for the show.
For the show.
Hey, it's for the strikers for the show.
Technically, if it's part of the Galaxy
Switch
stuff,
Pro, baby.
It's not part of the show.
With that OLED.
We could like stream stuff from the show. So
just write it off.
Yeah, just write it off.
That's exactly what we're gonna do. Let's right now, Ed. We're gonna start. What is it called? Mario G Strikers, whatever they're gonna call it.
We're gonna start
Squadcast team.
Our Twitch channel, where I
play Squadcast 96 pod. Anything else on
96.
There? 96.
Just did it twice.
96.
Yeah.
You see, Travis in the live chat wants to have an alumni game where all the old Larsers, Capo, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, one of the old Larser capos is now an LAFC fan, so I don't know if that would work.
Yeah, he who must not be named.
Yeah.
Mentioned, whatever his name is. A Patreon Switch. Oh, I love Jesus Gallardo. You're on point there, young man.
There you go, sir.
The 562 asked, whatever happened to Baron de Belter?
R.I.P.
I can only assume. I don't know. I hope he's well. Baron de Belter was a.
We are in the Baron de Belter Memorial Studio.
Yeah. Baron de Belter was a old school Larser. Great guy. If you didn't cross him. If you did, I'm sure he was a nightmare. But for me, he was a great guy.
Or you were lucky to not sit by him when he opened his can of sardines on a road trip back to San Jose.
He caused some problems as far as like negotiating with the front office a couple times. But other than that, just a fun guy from the tumultuous times of Lars. I don't know. We've talked about him a couple times. He kind of fell off the face of the earth a while ago. Last I heard, last I saw him, he was doing okay. I don't know. There's some buzzwords I'm trying to avoid. Last time I saw him, he was doing okay. and I hope he's still doing okay. But I don't know. If anyone has any way to get a hold of Baron, like, please get in touch. I would love to know how that guy.
Oh, actually, really would be interesting to see. How
he was a nice enough guy to me. I had no problem with him. So yeah, if anyone knows, get in touch.
Rabble.
Rest in peace, Baron. Baron to God. Yeah, he's a nice guy, man.
He was a nice dude.
I just, if he's gone, I want to toss that in. I want to get it in.
Anything else, Ben? Oh, I guess that's it.
All right.
Thank you all for joining us here on the.
I guess everyone else that sent us a question, go fuck yourself.
Oh, right.
There was a.
Well, we said we're gonna stick it to the live chat.
Okay.
Those people are gonna be the ones who get the questions in.
Wait, the people who sent. Why do we post all the other ones?
You posted them.
So we're not doing. So we're not doing Instagram.
This is the way to get people to the YouTube channel or live stream.
Okay. It's
Or
10:30 at night.
Stop it. We'll do the Instagram ones because we did do it this week.
It's 10:30 at night. Why do you keep expecting people to hang out? We do the. We can cut out here. I don't give a shit. But we do the lightning round at 10 o'clock at night. So the only people that you're taking lightning round questions from are the 30 people that are in the live chat.
Yeah. We talked about this last week. Literally, we talked about this last week.
Okay. Did I bring up how little sense it
Did
makes
we not
last
talk
time?
about this last week, Ben?
Well, someone who listened last week, remind me if I brought up how little sense it makes last week.
You can text us
Makes no
anytime.
sense.
You can text us anytime, any point during the week.
It's to drive people to our live show.
Hey.
You can
I'm
text
going to
us-
North Carolina. You guys do whatever you want.
You can text us anytime, day or night,
Voicemails.
24/7, voicemails,
Leave
anything.
us voicemails at the number 310-698.
I had to learn this new number. Weep. We lost, so it's weep.
We can talk out the show, man. We can still do it.
310-698 weep. Well, we lost this week, so it's got to be weep.
Yeah.
It's
Weep.
the-
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
that's right.
crying
That's right.
one.
That's the rule now. So it's 310-698 weep. Text us. Leave voicemails. Keep it under a minute.
Yeah.
Leave your name. Even when you text us, leave your name. That way we can give you a shout out.
No
right.
email from Fredo this week.
No email from Fredo. He's
Busy
in
week.
Mexico right now.
He's out fucking in Mexico, Fredo.
He's in, our good friend of the show, Fredo, is in Mexico for the U.S. Mexico World Cup qualifiers.
Sing un poco loco to somebody, buddy.
No, I don't want to do that.
Not you, Fredo.
Oh.
I'm trying to get that dude.
Oh, because you looked at me and you said sing it, so that's why I just.
I'm trying to get Fredo some strange down there.
No, man, he's married, man.
Is he really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. So
All
when
right.
we say Fredo fucks on Tuesday, he's
yeah.
smashing the misses.
Twitter, Instagram at Squadcast96, YouTube.com/the Squadcastpod. Email us at squadcast96@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Take care of yourself and each other.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Squadcast with Chris Tucker and Ed Rodriguez. The show is produced by Ben Aranda. Thanks, and see you next week.